Today we're taking a look at Luminette privacy shears, and here we're looking at the standard Luminette hardware. And the Luminette hardware has a swing arm here that comes around the end of the passive end of the shading, and this is basically what it's supposed to do, kind of wrap the fabric around the passive end. And this is a little bit older swing arm system here, and on these particular swing arm systems there's not a whole lot other than this little spring here on the side of the swing arm holding this thing together. It's got this cylinder here. A lot of times this swing arm I show up to the house and it's missing. And to remove the one that I have here, I basically just have to pull up on this spring here on the side and rock it out. And the spring is actually interfering with a notch here, the notch here on the side of the barrel. You can see that little notch there? That spring locks into it. Here's a look at the spring here. This is the feature that locks into the notch. The other end stays in between the two features of the swing arm. But this is usually, when I get to the house, how I find the shading. The customer calls, hey, something happened, the end of my shade's not hanging right. You show up and you find this guy there. Now I can go onto the Parts Request website and order a brand new swing arm. Take a look at this thing. Pretty nice. It does fit into the first carrier here. Instead of pulling this all apart and replacing this first carrier, I just really want to get the swing arm out of here and put it into the shade. It's a little bit easier to do that. And it's easy to see on this one how to remove it. The first thing I'm going to do is come in from the top here with some small hemostats and pinch these two tangs of the clear optical grade polycarbonate pin together. Squeeze those guys together and kind of push it out with that set of hemostats as well. So I'm pushing it out. Couldn't get my hemostats out of there. I'm going to take some needle nose pliers and pull that pin the rest of the way out. That pin's still good to use. Something to realize is the new lead carrier here has a hole in the bottom of it. The old one has a slot. So it is a little bit different. So just keep that in mind. I'm then going to go ahead and take my swing arm off, and it detaches now that the pin's out the same way as the old one here. I just pull back on this feature of the spring and it slides out of there. Something I want to do though before I take that whole thing out and that spring goes flying away is I want to take an Allen wrench or something and run it down the center of that keeps that spring into this feature here. I didn't lose it. If the spring's kind of little, here's the spring again here. Even if I drop it onto this surface here, I still have trouble seeing that spring. So in a home on a carpet or something, they usually disappear. I'm now going to go ahead and bring my headrail back in and just put the swing arm back into place here. Going to go ahead and put my Allen wrench down in there. The swing arm here at the top here, you can see it kind of poking out. Just want to rock it around, pull this section back, and then drive it all down in one move there. And that swing arm does pop into the notch over here on the side. You can see the notch in the swing arm, the notch in the cylinder there, and it's pretty much held in place at this point, but I don't want it to pop off like my old one did. I can't really come in through the bottom like I did with my new swing arm, but I want the pin still because it just adds a little more durability. I'm going to press that pin in from the top here, and it's not going to go all the way in because I don't have the hole in the bottom, but it is going to provide it a more durable surface there, less flexibility on the interior of that cylinder there. And that's how you replace a swing arm for a Luminette standard shade. Left or right?